This week we're at one of the most famous racetracks in the world, Nürburgring, just outside of Cologne, Germany. And you know, they tell me it's only 10 minutes from the birthplace of Michael and Ralf Schumacher. I'm standing at the legendary Carousel. Now, although the German Grand Prix is now being held in Hockenheim, this facility is still used for the European Grand Prix, as well as a form of motor racing that years ago many would have considered almost sacrilegious. It's truck racing, and not only has it become one of the most popular events in Europe, it's a sport that is headed for North America.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The original track was built in the 20s, early 20s. And Formula One had been racing here for many years. This Truck Grand Prix of Germany here at the Nürburgring has also a long tradition. It started about 15 years ago, and it's certainly the highlight of the race season here of the European Truck Race Championship. This isn't grassroots racing. They have the body of a truck, but these are serious race cars, and so are the drivers. I mean, these are not just people who park their truck in front of the racetrack and come in and race their racetrack. These are professional race drivers.
The trucks are Super A and Super B class trucks, only slight differences between the two run groups. They do run together. They have 12-liter displacement engines. Typically the two trucks running in the series right now are MAN and Mercedes-Benz, and they're putting out about 1,000 horsepower or better, and running to a top speed of 100 miles an hour that's electronically limited.
It's my understanding is even bigger than Formula One. Last year, some 240,000 people gathered here for the weekend for this truck racing. So it's great. I'm from Sweden myself, and it took me 1,000 kilometers to get here.
The transmission which we supplied to the series is a spec transmission for all the trucks in the series. It's a ZF automatic transmission for city bus application, and it's taken off the assembly line and modified for the truck series, but it is basically a spec transmission. The transmission actually is programmed to operate like a sequential gearbox, and so the driver has the option of running fully automatic, or he can actually change over to a manual setting that will allow him to move the shift lever forward and back, upshift and downshift in a sequential-like fashion. So as soon as he hits the shifter, the truck will upshift or downshift.
Big boys and big toys, this is, isn't it? They don't come bigger than this for racing. It's a challenge, but also a lot of people that are involved in the transport industry also come to the race meetings, and so it gives sponsors an ideal platform for their products. It started out with a standard tractor unit that was a road-going vehicle, but nowadays we've got like Formula One. What you see behind here, it's a works engine. It's got a special CAD designed chassis unit. It still looks like a standard Mercedes Tego road-going truck, but that's about it. Everything else is special.
From a rolling start of about 30 kilometers an hour, they'll reach 160k in about 3 to 4 seconds. So all the trucks are very close. They run road circuits, and the road circuits enable the drivers to really excel. You've got braking, turning into corners, diving into corners. They really try and push each other out of the way to get to the front of the pack. So watching 10,000-pound trucks from 100 miles an hour dive into corners and try and pick up positions is pretty exciting racing.
People say, why race trucks? But then why race horses? Why race dogs, Why race touring cars? They weren't designed for that. And trucks are a vehicle. You can tell by the people that come to watch them. They're fascinating to watch. That's why so many thousand people come here to the Nürburgring and throughout Europe. And it's just great, It's very exciting. It's the sort of the buzz of being involved with it, because all the people are allowed around the trucks, and I guess a lot of these people here are all involved in the trucking industry, which is massive in Europe, so they get a chance to be attached to it. And it's a fascination factor, I guess, really, and gives me a job.
Braking is a crucial point, so that's where the losers are separated from the winners, those who can break themselves at the very last minute to overtake the other guys.
The brakes are water cooled, so there are injectors that actually spray water onto the brakes every time they're applied. If they didn't water cool the brakes would overheat to the point where you would lose total braking in about a lap.
Nobody really thought about this event growing that big here, and it amazes everybody, and you see the support from the industry. I mean, this is a huge marketing platform for everybody, and it has been growing over the years.
I think it would be very good for North America. I think plans are afoot to hold a series in 2002. I would like to come over and probably compete in that series. It could be the start of what could be a World Series.
So here's the question. Where were you 32 years ago? I know some of you weren't even a glint in your father's eye. As for me, well, I was in diapers but found time to get Motoring TV off the ground. And today I like to think we've got one of the best automotive video libraries in the world. If you agree, please give us the thumbs up and also subscribe. We'd really appreciate it.